Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rini and this is of course the Enchanted Planner. Today we are planning for the first week in August in my health planner. Now originally when I had done my planner setup video, I had selected Miss Maker for this week, but I've already done 2 Miss Maker spreads, so we're switching it up. And I suddenly was hit with the idea to do geckos. So I went to Canva and created a bunch of images out of the geckos in Canva, printed them out, cut them out, and here we are for the plan with me. We are doing a voiceover because my dumb butt left the charging cable in at the same time as I had the lav mic plugged in, and we had that annoying hum in the background. I did it in one other video too that I missed and it's already uploaded, so oops, I need to have myself a checklist. Like, is this done? Is this not done? Like, have you unplugged the charging cable? Because creating video takes a lot of battery and I'm constantly charging my phone on the days that I'm filming. So sometimes I leave it plugged in and then plug in the lav mic, and then here we are. So my apologies, but you're getting voiceover Rini today, party people. Okay, so we're pulling out my gel pens. And those ones are, I can't remember the name of them. Let me just go and grab one and I can tell you. They are Paper Mate Ink Joys in a 0.7. They're a little bit thick. Well, they're actually quite a bit thicker than I normally use as pens, because normally I'm always using a 0.38. Sometimes I use a 0.5. So the 0.7 was quite a step up in this. So I'm just taking the time now to fill in my days with the breakfast, lunch, dinner movement, and then of course my stat trackers at the bottom. And in a minute, I've decided originally that I was going to go with purple, teal, and then this green color. But once I get the purple and the teal laid out, I don't really like the green with it. So the green goes bye-bye. So while I'm filling in that, what's going on in Plannerland? Me? I've not been doing much. I'm trying to get at least a week ahead in content. So now I'm officially a week ahead in content now that I've filmed this, because it's Sunday the 24th, because I really need to address some things around my house. And I love creating content for this channel. If I could do nothing else all day but create planner spreads and film them, I'd be in my happy place. However, that's not really realistic. We got to take care of our house and take care of ourselves and a few and other things that need to get done. So this is why I figure if I can get about a week ahead in content and stay a week ahead in content, that's the key here, is staying a week ahead in content. Then I can take some time to catch up on the things that have been falling behind around the house. Like, you know, our weather was pretty crappy through most of, well, we only really started getting sunshine about a week ago. So we had a really wet and long spring. So my outdoor projects haven't even been started. Like, there's so many things that I'm behind on doing, I guess, because the weather wouldn't cooperate. We make do, right? So we just keep on trucking. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I can get about a week and a half ahead in filming content, then I can, you know, it takes the pressure off a bit, because I fell behind and then it was literally like I'm filming things sometimes the day before it needs to go up, and that's not how I like to roll. I like to have things planned out in advance and everything's got, you know, its tick boxes and the list gets checked off, and I prefer it that way. So that's where we're at. Plus, I need to sit down and actually finish planning my health goals, which is another thing I want to get done this upcoming week. Yeah, there's a few things. So I will be sharing some of that journey with you as well, because why not take y'all along on the ride? I decided this month, speaking of, to decorate the health or the monthly spread in my health planner, and I never decorate that spread. However, there's a thought process behind this, because I'm thinking if I can make myself want to look at it every day. Like when I open the planner and I, skip over it, I can't really skip over it if there's pretty stuff there. So I've actually decorated the monthly in this planner for August in an attempt to get my butt to actually utilize it and look at it every day instead of skipping over it. Because I don't know, if it's not eye-catching, I just sort of like skim past it. I don't know if I'm alone in that, but that's the plan anyways, because I would really like to get my health back on track, because that has been a massive struggle this year. And I'm pulling out any resource I possibly can in order to help myself with that. So if it means decorating my monthly spread in my health planner, so be it. Plus, it also helps use up the stash, right? All right, we're going to start laying in some cute little geckos. I had fun with these guys. Like I said, they came out of Canva. I'll leave a link for Canva down below. I have the paid version, but their free version is absolutely fantastic as well. But if you decide you want to actually, sign on for the paid version, it gives you more access to some of the elements that you normally wouldn't have access to. But the way I look at it is the average sticker book is costing me anywhere between like $22 and $27 here in Canada. And that's not even including the Disney stuff. And that's if I'm buying it in Canada. If I'm buying it in the US and doing the exchange and all that, it's a lot more expensive. So I think Canva cost me it's like $15 a month. It's well worth the investment to me for the amount of stickers I can make with it. Like in the last few weeks alone, how many stickers and things have I made in Canva? Like it's paid for itself time over and time over again. So I love Canva. I don't know, I think it's an excellent tool because I'm 50, right? So back in the day, we used to have these programs called desktop publishing and whatnot. And, those were woo, right? And now Canva makes it easy for anybody basically to create whatever they want, whether they have a design background or a graphics background or not, right? Because I do not. I'm athletic. I've always been athletic. When I was a gymnast, and then I've been a fitness trainer and stuff. So like graphic arts and stuff. I used to create flyers and whatnot for various places I've worked, and I create, excuse me, I gotta shift in my chair here. I create stuff for obviously my business and stuff, but yeah, from I don't have a design background. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And it is super easy. And there's so many tutorials on how to use Canva. It's awesome. I love it. Can't recommend it enough. So like I said, I'll leave you a link down below. The free version is fantastic. If you have not checked out Canva, I suggest checking it out. It's fantastic, and it's free. There's a free version that's pretty dang good. So I'm contemplating, we've got the geckos laid out here, as you've noticed, and now I'm bringing them down the spine. And it shifted around a few times because I don't want to cut off his tail when I go to punch it with the crocodile punch. So this is why we're just sort of readjusting him a little bit here and there, because he's cute. I don't want his tail cut off. And then we have to do the same thing with the bottom, because this little guy as well, I don't want to cut off certain aspects of him. So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to place him in relation to being able to use the boxes and not punching through critical parts of him when I when I have to go through with the crocodile punch, right? And I had contemplated using the other gecko, but I didn't like the way he laid out. And as you'll notice, this week I have used the movement boxes right from Sunday to Saturday in an attempt to try and get movement in every single day of the week. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be strength training or cardio. It may just literally mean that I'm rolling around on the floor with the foam roller and doing some myofascial release stuff. I want to try and get some kind of movement, flexibility mobility, strength training, cardiovascular in every day. So that is the plan for the month of August. That's my goal every day. So 31 days. Really, if I can get through a consistent like 3 weeks of movement every day, I will have built the habit, and it'll be a lot easier to actually get to do every day, because half the battle is just getting started. The other half is staying started. And I'm sure most of you know that from your own wellness journeys. Like half the battle is just getting started, but the other half occurs when you're trying to keep up that momentum. And if you can make it through like 3 or 4 weeks, you're golden. But it's important not to give up in that 3 or 4 weeks. And most of us jump off the train. We're like, no, we're not doing this, or life gets in the way and we don't get back to it. So that's my goal. I want every day for 31 days, because if I can build that habit and build it in, it'll be a lot easier to maintain. So I'm just putting back my little black gecko's foot, because when I laid it down, his foot stuck to my finger, so I had to put it back on. Poor little guy. I ripped his foot off. And then we're just putting in this other smaller one down the bottom, because there's quite a bit of space down there. And I'm like, it looks too bare. It needs a gecko. Yeah, when I put these together in Canva, I'm like, I don't know how many I need. And it came close. There was about 5 of them I didn't use. So I'd rather have too many than not enough. But I thought they were very, very cute. And the next thing we're going to do shortly is pull in happy illustrations, which is what I'm explaining to you right now. Oh, no, my apologies. I jumped ahead of the gun. I'm trying to cut through and separate the 2 pages. And I intentionally left myself the smallest gap between the 2 pages when I had laid the geckos down, so it would be easier to get through and not cut the pages with my scissors, because the True Block label paper is quite thick. So trying to go through it with the X-Acto knife can be a little bit trickier. So sometimes with the True Block label paper, it's easier to just use scissors. Yeah, see, there's part of my monthly decorated. You can see it in the corner right there. But yeah, so it's I find if it's regular label paper, it's not a problem. But if it's the True Block, the takes a bit more finesse, especially, and if it's a little bit trickier when you're trying not to cut your pages, when you're trying to cut your pages apart. All right, so we're using the Crocodile Punch. And if you don't have one of these, it is a little bit expensive, but it's well worth the investment. And Michaels usually lets you use a coupon with them. So wait until there's a good Michaels coupon and then go and get it. And you get it for about, if you can get it for 40 or 50% off, or even 30% off is a pretty screaming deal. I haven't seen Michaels do a 50% off coupon in the length of the pandemic. I don't think I've seen one since before the pandemic started. Let me know if you have. Have you seen a 50% off coupon in Michaels since like early 2020? Because I haven't. They've all been like 25 or 30% off. I've not seen anything much above 30, which I'm like, what, Michaels? What are you doing? I mean, I know they're probably struggling, although, maybe their business went up. Although ours weren't forced closed. It was the strangest thing up here at the start of the pandemic, because it didn't make sense to me, the things that were allowed to stay open. Like you had all these restaurants closed and you had all these other things closed, but like the craft stores could stay open. So, so like home improvement places like Home Depot made a killing because everybody was like, well, I'm home. I may as well do all those house projects I've been putting off for whatever time. Right. And I think probably craft stores did the same. Like people are like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my kids. I better go to Michael's and get a bunch of stuff, right? So they probably made a killing throughout the pandemic. Maybe not, but I'm guessing they probably, made some extra coin, that's for sure, because no one was allowed to really do anything. So as you've noticed, I've pulled in happy illustrations, and I'm just trying to figure out how to place some of these leaves, because I thought it would be a nice compliment. I was trying to figure out how to make in my mind, the spread look kind of like a wall, and the geckos could be crawling up and down the wall. But I was like, maybe we'll just add some leaves and make it a little bit more tropical looking. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that we're somewhat back to normal in life. That's what my main thing is. I'm glad we're somewhat back to normal. So I'm just trying to determine if I want to add any more leaves down in this corner down here, and they don't really work. I played around with it a bit, and I'm like, I don't really care for it. So the leaves don't stay. If you've got any ideas on what to do, maybe down there, let me know in the comments, because I'm open to suggestions, because it needs something, but it just didn't look right. And when I pulled the sticker up, I accidentally lifted I pulled the label paper apart. So I'm just putting it back together using the Zig 2-way pen. That's another great thing. Those things are awesome. I love the Zig 2-way glue pens. And yeah, we're just trying to decide if I want to add leaves anywhere else, and they don't work. I also think too, it's because these leaves happen to be a different color than the other ones that I've got. So I'm thinking that's probably part of why I didn't care for the look. But that's a wrap, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing while you're here. If you're new to the channel, drop us a comment down below and let us know you're new so we can formally welcome you to our community. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I will see you next time. Ciao!